Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Welcome to City Alpha 3, the Nerd Party's dedicated Star Trek podcast. I'm Philip Gilfus. I'm joined, as usual, by my two co-hosts who may or may not be evolving to a higher form. Daniel and Darren, how are you doing?
You just disrespect our ways, Philip, and I just won't stand for it, but I guess we'll see what happens.
I know I am waiting to see that sort of graphic where it's, you just see the back of Daniel's head and it says, Daniel totally uses Spock rant. And then...
Here's the thing. This episode loves to use the term evolve, but they do it in the same way the X-Men does, and it makes a lot of sense if you think of it in that context, because Saru, although it's lame, gets a new superpower in this episode. So
Are you saying he's Professor X?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't get a cool Professor X-like power. He gets that I can shoot things out of the back of my neck power, which are totally useless and don't help
anyone. They should
anyone.
totally pass a law about his
No,
powers.
they're not useless. They're only
him.
useless because of force fields. But if someone didn't know about it, that's an awesome, oh, don't worry, sir, we've taken away their phasers. And Saru's just like, yes, I'm totally...
I'm looking forward to next episode where they're just casually walking down the corridor and you just see spikes randomly along the wall as you're walking.
He's like, sorry, Bowman, I sneezed.
He's still learning.
The scene where, unlike Linus in the turbo lift, when Saru sneezes, it's really just a bad time because everybody...
Luckily, he's really tall, so it doesn't really hurt anyone.
If you've seen any cartoon with a porcupine, you know where we're going with this, because it's pretty much, yes.
Well, as folks can tell, we're going to be talking about the Star Trek Discovery Season Dos episode, The Sounds of Thunder. And to help us talk about all the wonderful worlds about Saru's evolution, we have with us Sue. Sue, welcome to our lonely trio.
Why, thank you.
Now, you were super excited to talk about Saru.
I love Saru.
And I assume that this was actually before the even episode aired.
Yeah.
So I have to go ahead and just ask you, why are you super excited about Saru?
I really have kind of loved Saru since his debut on the show. I feel that to this point, Saru has been the closest analogy I have in Star Trek to the kind of anxiety that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. So there was a connection there right from the start. And then it grew even more for me with his short track with The Brightest Star, because we get a lot of his background. And I saw, I'm a pastor's kid. I'm a PK. And so is Saru. But which seems silly, but you see him in that short having these difficult conversations where he's sort of being brushed aside while his parents or his father recites to him what the faith tells them to believe, with no regard for Saru's actual situation or emotion or whatever. And all of that just resonated so deeply with me. And every time we learn something new about him, there's just more to it. I don't know how they did it, but I'm 100% invested in Saru at this point.
All in. Now, did Darren and Daniel, did you rewatch the short trek? Because I did before watching this episode.
I mean, if you're asking Darren, I think you should ask him if he's watched the
Yes,
short trek.
I watched it for the first time. Yes. No. And I rewatched all the short treks right when I got my Discovery subscription. Because that's really what it is, a Discovery subscription.
Yes.
But no, and I mean, we were all kind of poking at the short treks, when they first came out, of okay, this one is good, this one's kind of But if they're going to use them like this as kind of just extra bits of backstory for future episodes, that's great. And hey, if we're going to have Calypso interact with something in the future, I'm all for that. So
I was reading, oh goodness, and I met her briefly.
Is this a brick with words reading?
It's and I don't know if you know her, Sue, because of course I'm blanking on her name. Den of Geek. She does the Star Trek articles over there. But anyway, she was on the Trek panel at Galley 1. I can't remember her name. I apologize. But anyway, because I just read her episode review to get ready for this, and she actually was, not to skip to the end, but just she had some speculation about, how Calypso could fit into the time travel aspect. So I just thought that was a little
they both deal with
interesting.
time travel. So
Yeah. So anyway, well, let's just jump into it. We've kind of talked about it already, but just before getting into the full episode, just sort of the beginning part, and so you talked about this, so maybe I'll just let you run with this ball. Saru's changes. We sort of jumped over it previous episode, but 2 episodes ago, Ganglia gone, and now he's sort of trying to adjust, at least in the first half of this episode. What do you think of the changes he was going through and how it was handled? Or perhaps not handled, depending upon your point of view.
This is the part I'm a little bit concerned about. I'm not super thrilled that his ganglia have fallen off and now he's not afraid ever anymore, because that's not how life works. But
he's just parachuting out of airplanes.
Right. But I do think it's interesting that we're seeing him react differently, that he's sort of aggressive and confrontational on the bridge, and like he has these new emotions and these new impulses that now he's going to have to learn to control those, right? Because you can't just act this way towards your captain. You got to get that under control. So I think it's an interesting tack to take. They've certainly not, like, quote, fixed him, which was my biggest concern. They may have just given him some new things to deal with, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Now, Daniel, are you glad that Saru did not do any Mr. Tricorder jokes?
I'm thinking about that scene now, which kind of a little bit falls flat for me. With
are you talking about the bridge scene?
The bridge scene between Pike and Saru, and like the music is swelling, and it's cutting to all these different reaction shots, and it's like, I get that Saru feels impassioned, but I don't think this is going to turn violent. It doesn't seem like this is going to, because that's kind of how they're playing it. Not like,
yeah.
Right.
It's this giant.
The comm officer in the back's got his iPhone out, like filming it, like, guys, this is gorgeous. Dude, you won't believe what happened on Alpha Shift today, man. Saru was really assertive. I thought he was gonna hit the captain. I was ready.
I still don't know all the names. Who's the young Asian guy? I can't remember, but anyway, like when he stood up, I was standing up too. Like, there's actually no reason for me to stand up during this argument, because like, what was he gonna do? Like, there's an argument between the first officer and captain. I'm just the con. Never mind. Sorry.
The weirdest part was definitely when he stood up. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, and compare
that. Now we're all standing up. We all look like idiots.
Well, compare this scene to the scene where Burnham's leading him out to die, and they're all standing, like, sending him off almost, and now it's like, so Saru's back, and he's got Saruitude, some Saru attitude.
Oh, God. That is some 90s thing that we're now going to have as the episode title.
It's what the cool kids are calling it.
Is that like the Star Trek Discovery Capri Sun flavor?
Saruitude.
Saruitude.
It comes in ecto green, and
Ooh, we are crossing the streams now. Nice, all right.
You probably want to stay away from the Mycelia network.
It's Command Radical Red, and wait, sorry, no, that's gold.
That's actually gold or silver. I don't understand any of it. All right.
Look, the chemicals we put into it to make it match those colors is totally safe, Philip. Totally safe.
And I know this is a Saru episode, so it is kind of awkward to do a non-Saru moment, but just kind of, since we're slightly chronological here, because in the sick bay, we had Culbert's.
Who spent all his time in the mycelial gym.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He came out with like 20,000 more muscles than he went in with. He traded all of his beard for muscles. It was incredible.
Should I assume that none of you follow Wilson Cruz on Instagram?
Not on Instagram.
No,
I do.
Because it's basically constant photographs of him without his shirt on.
Hold on, then.
Constant.
Let me give it a second. Right, hold on. Well, my note that I wrote down was that apparently the beard is so powerful that Stamets could no longer read facial expressions on him without a beard. And so when he's like, "Hey, aren't you excited?" and Culbert's like crying because he's so traumatized, and Sam's like, "You look good, let's go."
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, this is really real, right? Like, Stamets is just so overwhelmingly happy to have his husband back, and Culber is like super traumatized. He's not sure he's himself. That was some excellent Wilson Cruz acting. Just facial expressions when he's realizing he doesn't have the scar.
In Starfleet, because we need one here.
Not for another couple of 70 years.
Yeah,
but I like what you said, Sue. It's true. Like it was a very real moment, and Discovery's had a lot of those, which is nice. I mean, when I slipped into the mirror universe last week, I was exactly empathizing with it. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it is true. It is nice when we get those moments.
The problem that I have is that we get these two scenes and then it's just forgotten about. Like we never circle back around to Stamets and nothing.
Well, it's called the B plot, Daniel.
No. But even that was like a D plot at best.
But even B plots and C plots have some sort of resolution. Not that I'm
not in
looking
this
for
episode.
That,
Not in this episode.
I don't expect them to fix the problem, but normally they would at least foreshadow it. Like maybe have a final scene where with them in their quarters and they're brushing their teeth like they did in that one episode, and then maybe
that would have been, that would have been sweet.
Yeah.
At the end, and then
they step
like
away and
is
the mirror is
foreshadowed?
still them, and then everybody freaks out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I get to see that, because that's Stamets, or what was it? I forget which one said that was their favorite time. Maybe they both said that at some point. But anyway, you could see Stamets kind of I'm all happy brushing, and then you just see Culber sort of zombie brushing, and it's this isn't good.
It just feels like the writers forgot
or he's violently hurting his teeth because now he's so muscled that he's sort of just super brushing.
His teeth just are falling. It's just that the episode forgets that this is there's no point to it. These two scenes just happen, and that's it. It felt weird to me that nothing else became of this. That there wasn't leading anywhere, or nothing significant happened out of it. I just. Character stuff for characters. I love that sort of stuff, but it just left it up in the air. Okay, I guess he's just not having a great time right now.
We brought him back. Are you happy? Get off our junk, okay? Anyway.
But I think it's obviously they're gonna deal with it in later episodes. I mean, but it is a good point though, Daniel.
I actually give them credit that they didn't make it easy.
Right.
He's
not let me just put on my smock again, and I'm gonna treat you, Saru, because I'm a doctor again now.
Right. It's not all hunky dory. He's not feeling right. It's not easy, and I think that's one of the things we've seen with Discovery over the 2 seasons. Really, that things aren't as easy as Star Trek has showed us previously. But they unfortunately do make it seem easy because Tilly is back to normal. You can't tell me what she went through last week was not traumatic, but she's A-okay, no problem.
Well, but she's got her slice of galaxy pie that she's enjoying, and
yeah, but they're still working through the Xindi network. Oh no, wait, that's not what that was.
No, that's such a good point.
They're working through the sphere.
Because last episode literally ended with just Tilly crying.
Yeah.
And now there's no mention or any sort of there's nothing there. There's no implication of any of that.
And it is interesting how, Dr. Colbert is showing more fear, but Saru is not. I mean, you almost had a shift there because Dr. Colbert was a very strong character in the beginning. And I'm not saying there's a direct connection, but they are kind of showing here's a fear side on this one character, and now you're seeing Saru, take action command Saru.
Karate chop Saru.
Yeah, karate action Saru. Ah.
Oh man, that would be a long karate chop.
Oh man, can we get a Saru action figure where you could take the threat ganglia out and put the spike in, and then
with removable fear of death?
Exactly. Now I'm just seeing a little 90s figure, like the commercials where it's kids playing with. And he's like, take that, Lorca. This is what I think of you. Ah.
And I'm still going chronologically, which is probably not the best way, but I'll do it anyway. So our B plot ? Is that the 8th signal, 7th signal? I don't know. A signal comes, a new one comes on in space, and you'll never believe where it is, guys. It's the reason.
Is it Earth? Because that's probably where it's going next. Because I wouldn't be surprised.
So we are on the quest for the Red Angel, and we can kind of encapsulate that whole story of
Well,
so
I mean, is it obvious now that the Red Angel is directly tied to Discovery.
It's Michael.
Because to Michael. Yeah, I mean, because in the beginning it was kind of like, okay, this is interesting, and now it's like, no, every instance is now directly attached to one or more of the members of this ship. Like that is, not to get ahead, as we've seen, they have released other episode titles, and episode 10 happens to be called The Red Angel. So hopefully we'll get some answers in that week's episode. I'm just hoping.
To be fair, none of the crew existed during World War III. And Red Angel showed up and did that.
Didn't they, Daniel? Didn't they?
As far as we know.
Well,
That's right.
we just need
Time
to see
travel.
Michael Berman's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother.
Mother, played by
No!
Shaniqua.
No!
It's a tradition, Daniel. You can't deny it.
Yes. So yeah, it is interesting in as much as it is. That they're like, oh, there's a signal, we'll go there, and look, there's nothing here. I guess we should, I don't know, figure out why we're here. And it was sort of an interesting, like, I don't know. They usually tell us what to do in the script or something. So I guess we'll just start hailing people and hope something happens.
Well, and you get more of the dichotomy between Section 31 and Starfleet, where Section 31 is super like, yeah, everything could be terrible, Captain, and it could all result in death. And then Pike's like, or it could be good things that we've done here, and it's all about how you look at it. Is it Red
Section
Angel or Red
31
Menace?
Is Section 31 a part of this season just in order to keep Shazad Latif and Michelle Yeoh in the cast?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, because I don't know, because I don't look ahead at stuff, because I like to be a little blind about things. I don't know, because with the whole spinoff and then when this will occur and blah, 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 I don't know at what point they're actually going to sort of let the spinoff happen, even if it's just production behind the scenes. So, like, I get why Ash is still there, because he's, a member of Discovery. We got to cram him in there somewhere. He's sort of just like the Worf of the Star Trek movies. But yeah, I don't know Michelle's schedule. Though. Like, I don't know if they plan to just keep Georgiou just continuously coming back, like, the Q of Discovery, or if she's sort of gone now, because that we sort of set up her and Leland's adventures throughout space-time. So, I don't know. All right, well, let's get to the big old story here. So we have Canamar. Did I write that wrong? That was from memory. That could be wrong.
Kaminar.
Anyway, Kaminar. So I flipped some things over. All right, so Kaminar, Saru's outburst on the bridge, go down and save the planet, find out about the Red Angel. That's the whole thing. So,
Excellent summary.
Wow, we just
Exactly.
jumped right to the end of the episode. All right, folks, I'm done.
So, yeah, that end credit scene, let's talk about... No.
well, that's the whole mission. It's not like, let's go save the planet. It's like, no. Just see if the priests know about Red Angels, and then we're out of here. So I don't know. Darren, what'd you think about... if you're Captain Pike... What do you think about handling Saru?
Man, Saru's
opinions.
Yeah, he's kind of going off the rails here. I mean, he has a point, but
But it's
again,
loud.
there's been a lot of talk this last season about, General Order 1 and when we ignore it, and
Oh boy.
like, again, I feel if this was 24th century and this was like Picard and he's like, okay, we need to, like, I would totally see him sending Saru down. Like, I don't have a problem with sending Saru down, but they constructed this narrative around that we shouldn't be doing this, and the whole, like, oh, but the Kelpiens see warp technology all the time. They just don't have it. I'm like, that's kind of flimsy as far as, like, is that going to hold up in court? I don't think so, but...
Space Court.
Yeah, Space Court. But we need Philippa Jag getting out here, making good law. Here's your chance, so make it a good one. I mean, again, they're not gonna send Saru down on the mission. And actually, this reminded me a lot of, I think, is it Fear Itself, the standalone novel, which I've read all the novels for Discovery, and that one was about Saru, and it was good. And he kind of had some moments where he went off on his own reconnaissance, kind of read between the lines of what the captain's orders were and made his own decisions based on his own judgment. And we definitely see a lot of that here, because really, I mean, he's being backed up by the Discovery crew, but once he goes down, he's pretty much on his own, just him and his sister. and good thing he like Rambos up and is able to take out doesn't get Tasha Yard or because that would be bad.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
was
throwing
glad
out all the bombs right now and just laying
spikes.
yeah,
They're called spikes.
Sorry, spikes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just glad the first person he met was his sister. That's
well, he
that
did
worked
say
out.
he went to his village, so it's not a surprise. And
Right,
we don't
and
know
his
how
sister's
long
was a
it's
surprise to
been.
him.
That's true. Well, and how long has it been since he left? I mean,
20 years? 18 or 20 years, they said.
yeah.
Yeah, they said it, but I've forgotten it. 18 years, something like that.
Well,
Oh,
he
yeah,
comes
that-
upon the priest, and he's not at all surprised that it's not his dad.
Yeah.
So, like,
Right. He
Yeah.
doesn't say, "Hey, Dad." He's like, "Oh, good." He identifies
Hey,
it as a
priest.
priest, and he's
but
like,
like
"Hey."
in that moment, because a village supposedly only has one priest, he just learned his dad's dead. But
yeah.
is surprised that it's his sister.
Mhm. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was funny. He's like, "Oh, what happened to our father?" I'm like, "Dude, he's dead. It's been too long, man." But I hate to tell you, even without your sister telling you. But anyway,
Baha'i,
but I
maybe?
did think it was.
That's what this
Yeah.
is all about.
Went to the old priest home. That's it.
In the sky.
Went out to pastor.
Oh,
nice.
welcome to City Off 3.
Nice.
All right,
Oh, PK joke.
exactly.
Well, hang on, let's.
but anyway-
can we just
Go
talk
ahead.
about it just for a minute because
I mean,
If
they
we're-
do. So no, I'm just
they
kidding.
bring it. They bring up the Prime Directive, so should we. And
I mean, General Order 1, but I know what
General
you mean.
Order 1. No, this is. I mean, I will grant them sending Saru down since he just comes from the planet and he knows everything about it. He's totally fine. First of all, why would you ever even think about sending Michael down without? Why? I don't know. It just bothered me. That was the one thing Pike did that I'm like, Pike, what the hell, man? You
Because
can't just send
they
Michael
established
down.
that they've never seen anybody beside a Kelpien,
So-
and
Well,
I
and I
mean
get
that
that
was a really
because-
But
cool
hold on,
scene,
hold on.
though. I'm
General
not
Order
saying that
1
was
/
bad.
the Prime Directive is about not
Which is my favorite
interfering
fan fiction.
with the culture's natural development.
Right.
Right?
True.
So Pike says, we can bend it, let's not break it. Meaning, go have first contact, but don't do anything that's going to affect their development. And
Yeah,
then
they totally
40
do-
minutes
do
later,
anything that would change the Kelpien
change
species
everything.
as a whole for life.
He literally offers to broker a peace between these two peoples, and it's like, you're kind of breaking your own rules there right now, there, bud. And yeah, I don't know, it's fine, but why even bring it up if you're just not gonna? If you're
I mean,
just gonna
Saru's wearing his Marxist hat as he beams down. Like, you can see where
Your
this is
workers
going.
unite,
Yeah. I
and
mean,
then-
yeah, no, it's...
Well,
I mean, I did like the scene with Burnham, though. I liked where she met his sister, and it's kind of like his two sisters meeting, and the way they directed that and handled that with, yeah, it's a shock seeing your brother again after 18 years, and then it's like, oh, and we're not alone in the universe, but they do reveal that she saw him beam out and the shuttle leave, so she's kind of like, if you're gonna talk to a Kelpien on the planet, she's gonna be the one who's most understanding.
and will not talk. But look, they have a clear corollary to General Order 1 on Discovery, guys. As long as you beam, you can beam and show any technology in front of a church, a priest, anything related to.
Just pretend you're the
faith,
sky god, and it's all
practices.
good. Okay.
Yeah,
so it's a
yeah,
religious
as long as it's
exception, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Well, when your
They
MacGuffin
accommodate.
when your MacGuffin's an
Oh,
angel,
he's been shot.
sense.
We need to pray in the church.
They'll just be like in the middle of a firefight on an alien planet and be like, do you have a church? Because we need to do something right now. And
These are holy relics that light up and make sound.
yeah. And I guess what y'all are talking about, I think the challenge, I'm not going to say problem, the challenge, and it works for me because I just do it in my head and I don't care, for discoveries with the Prime Directive and General Order 1 with Star Trek, obviously very ingrained. All the diehards know it very well. But this is TOS, and I'm very familiar with how Kirk did Prime Directive, and so that's why I'm kind of like, meh, that's what Kirk would have done, so I'm not going to jump up and down about it.
yeah, I'm more interested in how this works, especially as a justification, because they're like, oh, the Kelpiens, the Ba'ul have faster than light travel, and the Kelpiens can't make metal or can't mine metal. So like, there's
Yeah, no, they can shred. They just can't.
nice. So it's just like this disparity is incredible, and the fact that I mean, I guess I'm just speaking to the larger system that exists on this planet, supposedly.
I mean, who wants to live in the Briar Patch, Daniel?
Yeah, I
Apparently
guess.
the Baul.
But why? I don't know. They're like, oh, these people are gonna come at us with their spikes and stuff, and we have force fields. And it's like, I think your great balance is you're pretty safe for forever, probably. But, anyways, I guess we haven't got to the Baul yet. But
No, well, let's go ahead and do it. Like I said,
I
we're just
mean,
doing
when the Baku decided to take over this planet, I was it was shocked.
It turns out they were all related the whole time.
They were.
Guys.
Wait, never mind. It's Bawu. It's not the Baku. But I tell you, that apostrophe is really important in Star Trek. You know, it's yeah. The Klingons, they have a whole chapter of their book about where you put the apostrophe. So.
Yeah. And I'm going with it. This is my I'm going with it thing. That guys, I just want to every episode now. They're just gonna be like in like halfway through or 3/4 of the way, like we don't know what to do. Oh, hey guys, we're looking through the sphere files. It actually has everything. We just searched and wikied it, and apparently here's the answer to everything. So it's like that's very helpful.
That is true. It is very helpful.
We have graphics about population, and what do you want? We got it.
So are you saying
if only that information was available for the following 50 years?
I mean, are we going to take a page out of Enterprise now, and there's going to be like some religious cult around the sphere that is upset that they have this knowledge, and they're going to beam on and delete it? Like, is that how we're getting out of it?
Oh, I hope
we know
not.
it's.
I would almost be surprised if that became the basis of Memory Alpha, like in universe. I would not be surprised by that.
The information is hardwired into the ship, which is why it is set adrift,
gosh.
never
Or
to be
Starfleet
touched
Command
again.
will decide that it's too much knowledge for us to have and highly classify
You
it.
can't have genealogy records back decades. That's just, I won't stand for it. That's just
We
crazy.
were so excited
Don't
to
give
ask
these
if we
people
could.
ideas, guys. Come on.
We never asked if we should.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's. I mean,
to be
yes,
fair,
it is plot-ish, but you know.
I want to say two things about that. First of all, to be fair, last week we criticized them and we said, "Wow, that'll probably never come up again," and we thought that they would never bring it up again. And here they are using it practically. So I will give them credit to say, "Hey, they're at least using it in a."
And
in a way that
I
makes
believe
sense.
that Robo Lady can collate the heck out of that stuff, so
Yeah.
we're good there.
Robo Lady is still awesome, and I still want more lines from Robo Lady. But
My wife or Jessica did laugh at that line. Like, we found it. Okay, she
Yeah.
found it. That was basically it.
And I forgot my other point. But yes. Oh, I was going to say we did the same thing happened in TNG with the people, the Barclay that we met with through Barclay.
Oh yeah.
The nth degree.
Yeah, and we
There you
never ever used that information for anything important. So that's par for the course.
No. Like I said, I think it's funny. Like I said, it just be hilarious. They just use it every episode.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, Spock, we found the problem with the Red Angel. It's actually here in this file folder marked.
Did you
Red
know that
Angel
the
for
Red
episode
Angel
10.
showed up again 3,000 years ago and then 9,000 years ago, and it's we have records here. But yeah, no, it's. I mean, what do you guys think of Saru's planet, though? I mean, like the design, the aesthetic, the fisherman's village, and the pylons, and it was a really great. I felt like I was in an alien world that was fully fleshed out.
Yeah. Complete with floating plinth. So.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think they did a really good job of extrapolating what Saru would do with his quarters coming from a planet like that. I think that was really well done.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's one of the things I didn't notice when I was rewatching the short treks to get ready. Then I noticed when she gave him the knife in the short treks, I'm like, that's where he had the knife for the previous episode of when he asked Michael to use the knife to cut off his thing. So, yeah, and it was interesting. We talked about, not using Saru seems silly, but I mean, Saru had an agenda. So, I mean, I see Pike, the mission is find out about the Red Angel intelligence gathering. It's not completely overturn the culture of this world. But
to Saru, that's really his mission. Like, I mean, and he literally tells him like, "Don't do that," and it's like, yeah, but. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the actual plot of the episode, is Saru going to learn the wrong lesson from this? Because he disobeyed direct orders. He did things totally against the book.
And the Red Angel bailed him out.
And the Red Angel bailed him out. Now he gets to do whatever the hell he wants. I don't know. I hope he doesn't. I don't think he will.
That's true. If the Red Angel didn't show up again, literally he'd be responsible for the genocide of his entire species.
Yeah.
Which would explain why there's no Kelpiens in Next Gen. That's me. Is canon really that important to you guys?
Are we now calling this the Red Angel universe? Is that what happened?
Oh,
is now a different timeline?
The Angelverse? No.
I saw an off-the-wall theory the other day that was saying it's not Red Angel, it's Red Matter. It's actually Spock Prime trying to fix things that would destroy the Kelvin timeline. And I'm like, but Leonard Nimoy's not around anymore. I don't think
the ideas.
I don't
Stop
think they would
saying
do
them
that.
out loud.
Yeah, and that was a weaker of the plot ideas.
Yeah.
But.
Because I mean, as much as we make fun of the writers, everything's shot. I know what they know is going to happen, but I would like to think that for a moment that it's just like lost and like, no, we totally know who the Red Angel is. What do you think it is? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's steal that one. Yeah.
That's true. Okay, guys, we drew a line in the sand. We said episode 10 is called the Red Angel. We have until then to figure out who the Red Angel is.
But we never explained the red polar bear. Anyway.
Maybe Robo Lady's the Red Angel, and then I'll be really excited.
Oh, goodness. So what do we think of the Bible? We talked a little bit, because I know, Daniel and Darren, you were both excited. Like, early on, season 1, when Saru was introduced, and we got this whole predator-prey.
Anytime we're in the transporter room redress, I get excited, because, no, I'm just kidding. It took me out of it a little bit. I mean, it was good. I liked that set, but it was really, like, in like half a second, I'm like, we're back in the transporter room. Like, because it's so distinctive with, like, the platform and the stairs leading up to it. And I'm like, this is where we are.
Well,
but
it's like a hexagon. Like, it's like most rooms are not shaped like this, man. Like, they don't have.
And they literally just beamed
angles.
down. We had a couple scenes, and then we're on the ship, and I'm like, now we're here. Like, I
They
know
turned the lights back on.
Yeah, they turned the lights back on. I think they even had red lighting on the stairs, and I'm like, that's just what they do on the transport. It says, don't step here because we're beaming people in the sphere, so don't do that. But.
Did they use the same room for Fantastic Beasts in the first one, where they have sort of the death execution room with the black goo? Because it's like the same thing, basically.
That's true. That was a little more kind of like 12 Monkeys-ish, with the concrete. But no, I mean, I liked it, but I mean, they were scary as all get out looking. Kind of hard to understand, but not too bad.
Well, I think if you spend a moment with their culture, Darren, you'll learn
more.
Well,
I was totally expecting a reveal of, like, it's Kelpiens, but just slightly different. I was totally
That's what I was expecting, too. I was totally like, after Vahara.
Sci-fi's taught me anything.
Maybe there are more changes, and and the Kelpiens are really the Baul.
And they go through a goth phase, and it's...
So I was pleasantly surprised.
Goth Kelpiens is another episode possible title we got here.
But then I found myself wondering, is Armis a Baul?
Yes, I think that's what everybody's been thinking, and
I think
I think it could be. I mean, it's basically updated, better effects for the same thing.
And all we really know is that he's like exiled, right?
Yeah, well, conceptually, he was supposed to be, and I'm Skin of Evil is not my episode I always rewatch, but what little I remember is like he's supposed to be literally all the negative emotions and feelings. That's why it's called the Skin of Evil, and so maybe the Baul sort of have some emotional transference, and then they created this sort of blob of anger and just spit it out, and they become happy and gentler.
I mean, if anything, we can tell it's like an homage to that character. I mean, that's obvious. It doesn't have to be
which I like to think, like, guys, we should do an homage to a next gen character. Who's someone that, like, people really want to be.
Dude, Skin of Evil, guys. I would love that episode. We could have Saru being pushed around, and when he's pushed away, he's like, what's his sister's name again? It
is Sarana.
It's like, Sarana, something got me, and then all the next gen fans.
The Metamucil comes out.
at the end is
if you touch him, I will kill him.
at the end, Saru's like, and I learned a lesson from each of you. So, yeah.
It's I don't I gotta be honest, I don't love the Ba'ul. If you take away the camera angles and the intense music, it's just some guy dripping all over the floor, and it
So
just
in like
feels...
normal lighting, it's just this guy covered in paint, and you're like, that's really not scary at all.
Hey, that's like half my classic Doctor Who villains there.
I get it. It's just like it's so silly because there's no possible way this is an actual creature that exists, and I know I get it. It's fiction, it's Star Trek, but it's just like you have Saru and Serana who are sitting in this room, and this thing is just like. It's like it's just like dripping everywhere, and
were you waiting for someone to take off the mask and be like, "Oh, it's old Mr. McGregor"?
That would be great.
It's Saru's father. That's
Oh, I would have gone away with it.
yeah. I mean, now
Michael Burnham.
so besides like the design, like there's the whole let's look into the history books, and the sphere will tell us that the Ba'ul was the prey species initially and was hunted by the, advanced Kelpiens. And it was, spike shooters. And it was, it's really interesting, concept there. Although it's kind of like, and then they invented warp drive to stop it. Or
and the tables turned.
And they almost wiped out, and then they were they didn't just leave, because apparently you could do that, but they're like,
with warp,
never again. I'm not saying I disagree with the plot, like it makes sense, but
the numbers that they showed on the screen and the language they used got convoluted too, because they started using evolved and unevolved instead of like pre and post Vihari, which is what
I
it
would just have
really
said woke
is.
and not woke.
Right, so
Kelpiens.
shouldn't every young Kelpien be pre-Vihari if it's an individual thing they go through? But at some point, there was a 0 for unevolved Kelpiens, so that didn't make sense. But they also never explained how the Ba'ul avoided extinction.
Right. I mean, look.
They tossed up a bone in the air, and after they touched the monolith, and then they knew all that they
Is that where
needed
the
to
monolith
go.
comes in?
Yep.
I knew this would happen.
Yep, 2001.
Did they have? Was there like a Ba'ul Renaissance?
Look, it used to be about culture,
I'm imagining
and art, and pottery.
I'm imagining the black goo with like the beret hat and the feathers sticking out.
Saru, I must protest. I am not a merry man. I mean, sorry, Peru, I must protest.
It's like it's so weird. This sort of this thing that they came up with the I'm going to say the names wrong. The
Ba'ul.
Ba'ul and the Kelpiens.
And the Kelpiens. So all of a sudden the Kelpiens now develop this ability to shoot things out of their head, tiny spikes,
And get super aggressive.
and they're strong.
Like,
Okay, that's
super strong.
that's fine. And I guess the Ba'ul are only smoky and drippy, which is not a great place to be.
The two
predator-
worst dwarves.
predatory.
Like if you see that review at a bar, do not go there.
But we're like the way that they present it, it's like the Kelpiens became so incredibly powerful. There was nothing we could do to stop them until we developed warp drive.
Until we developed this technology of,
I would have been more
magnets.
interested if like they discovered that the Ba'ul were not indicative to this planet, and like they came from another planet and then it basically enslaved the Kelpiens. Like that would make more sense than they were the prey species and then they flipped the tables and set up the system so that it would never happen again.
The two dominant species. Look, y'all are all blue shirts here. I'm the red/gold shirt. But like the two dominant species thing on one planet always sounded like, oh, could that really happen? I guess.
How could one be developing technologies that the other doesn't?
Yeah.
How are they?
Maybe
both...
they're
isolated.
goo-based technologies.
And
Maybe they hid their whole city in that lake.
But if that's what's happening, how can you consider both of them dominant species? That's the weird
Were you
part.
getting Halo vibes from the city coming out of the lake, Daniel? Because I totally was. I mean,
I was actually waiting for the Kelvin Enterprise to come out of there.
I'm still mad about that.
Let's break another Prime directive here. Anyway.
Well, look, okay, the Barul wanted to spend all these credits on an interplanetary rail line, and that was just ridiculous. So I'm glad the Red Angel finally came in and shut that down, because they were just wasting. Sorry, it's a California thing.
Well, I guess, and one thing, because, and it's fine. Like I don't have a problem with how the will have been revealed, but I guess in my mind when we were been introduced more and more to Saru's characteristics, so the quick running when he was on that one planet, like. I thought literally, and again, it's fine they did this, but like literally predator prey, I thought like there would be a monster that would chase him and eat him, not sort of the sacrificial, you just walk into the circle.
Right.
I'm
Not
much of a
defeats
predator.
him by technology. It's like, that's interesting.
Well, the thing is,
All the
and I don't know
traits
if
they
you're-
gave him definitely indicated another land animal being.
And I don't know if you're aware of this, Philip, but warp drive is actually faster than just running. So
Okay.
it is the case that no, I totally agree with you. It's so ridiculous that this a species who can travel betwixt
network.
the stars is afraid of this tiny these fisher people who just sit there and
well,
just.
I think
and
they're
fish.
trying to say it's because they're prey, because they are hardwired to fear the Kelpiens.
Well, but not anymore. We're
But
not.
they can't get past that biology.
Well,
I mean,
whatever.
I think that there's a cultural thing too.
They knew that the Kelpiens were a threat to them once they were able to shoot spikes, right? So something happened at some point that they figured this out. They figured out that they went through this transition and somehow turned the tables so that the
sphere's a little
Kelpiens
lacking on that
beforehand were
ear,
afraid of
but-
them. And they killed them all out before they reached that point.
Much like season 4 of Angel, once Spike shows up, things just sort of.
Although,
go down.
so every Kelpien on the planet now is a post-Fahari spiker. But I'm
Good
assuming
research.
then that any newly born Kelpien will be a pre-Fahari.
It's a little.
That's
Although
what I
technically
think
we've
as
never
well.
established if once you're post-Fahari, if you then conceive a child, if they are pre or post. We don't know that.
But then the more I thought about it, and again, look, I'm not. It's a cool Star Trek sci-fi idea. I'm going to go with it. But the concept of like when does Vahari happen? Because it seemed the way Saru explained it 2 episodes ago. It was, I guess, something about. I mean, you had to read into it, so this is just maybe me reading into it. It was something that the Baul did. Like they sort of sent off a signal that said, "Hey, we're ready for you to kill yourself for our pleasure." But like, when does it happen? Like, is it all at the same age? Because
Well,
I mean,
he says
Saru's not a young guy.
It indicates that they're ready for culling.
Right.
Yeah, but like, is it a certain age or?
Maybe the Barul can tell when they're getting close to it actually triggering, because, I mean, now that we know it's not, oh, we're ready to eat you, it's, no, we're ready to kill you so you aren't a threat.
It just seems, and again, it's a whole new species. It doesn't have to comply by what little I know of science. But it just seems like very late in a life form's developmental cycle. Because I mean, I don't know how long Saru lives.
Well,
He's-
in the
seems
short
like he's-
trek, he says, "What if I'm in Vahari the next time the Baul come by?"
Uh-huh.
And his father says, "Well, then it's just your time." But his father is much older than he is, of course. So it seems to just be whenever it happens for each individual.
So I guess it's just random, or in as much as it seems random.
And
it's
I
random.
would
Because that'd be
assume
my
that the
question.
Or maybe
Baul
if the
would know
population
because
gets
of
too
they
big.
have the pylon in every town,
Yeah,
right? So they're keeping an eye on what's going on.
the watchful. eye.
Vahari alert!
It
Go
just
get
seems
that
to
Kelpien and kill him.
if only there was some sort of fictional thing where a big eye in the sky looked out and.
It's like a super inefficient way to do this, to control the population, because
1984? Yeah, no, I know.
do you know what I mean? Like, you're still in a giant city under the water. Even if these people can shoot little spikes out of their head, they're still not
Right.
coming to get you. You're going to be okay for a few 100,000 years.
I mean, you're under
They
the
only
sea.
developed warp
Under the
technology
sea.
21 years ago, okay? They're still working out the kinks.
okay.
Yeah, they're not at warp 1.5 yet, you know.
All right, that's fair. All right.
So anyway, but
But
then
they-
it seemed all interesting. I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
Okay, fine.
To oh no, yeah, but it just the because it seemed like, okay, the scene ended, or the whole episode ended, and it's like, oh no, wait, we got Tyler here. We were paying him money. All right, let's do a Tyler scene, guys. And I don't know how you feel, Sue. I am obviously on record as being anti Section 31, so the whole like Ash has drunk the Kool-Aid pretty quickly, I have to add, by the way. I can get that he has a different point of view. He's lived a different life. Used to be Klingon, all that stuff. So I can see he'd have a different point of view. But he's like Leland Section 31 Kool-Aid about the agenda of the Red Angel. So what do you all think about sort of that scene and him questioning?
Where he was like, oh yeah,
the Red Angel's bad.
Yeah, the Red Angel's bad. Or basically, we should be ready if the Red Angel decides to try to wipe out the Federation. Like, that's basically what he's implying.
I mean, he's not wrong. I feel like I would be arguing those points in that situation of like, we don't know that this thing is benevolent. Calm down a second. But sorry. For me in general, the jury is still out for me on Section 31, in Discovery at least. But it makes a lot of sense for Tyler, because as he says, at this point, this is the only place he can even possibly think of belonging, right? The Klingons think he's dead, and Starfleet wants nothing to do with him, and he's two people in one. And, Section 31 is the one place I guess he doesn't have to pretend to be one or the other. He can just be. But he makes some good points.
Well, I worry that it takes the island of misfit toys and just like, how people keep kicking you around? Let's kick them around.
Well, yeah.
And then it sort of gives like because when you're in Hammer, everything looks like a nail. So they're just coming at it from, we have to protect the Federation, which means everything is a threat. And no, everything is not a threat. And so that's why I'm more of a Captain Pike. Like, the thing that saved people in the church, saved us right now, saved Michael, saved Spock. Yes, I'm sure it's a threat. But, I mean, to be wary, I'm not saying that, but just sort of Tyler just being full on, we have to look out for the Federation interest. It's all very, it's a short jump to Hydra, is what I'm saying.
Well, I think the conceit is that that's their job. Like, that's what that organization exists to do anyways. Because for every Captain Kirk or Captain Janeway you have hopping through time, no widdly diddly, no problems, you have that other guy.
By the way, that is my wife's theory that it's Captain Janeway. But
you have that guy from Voyager who, I can't remember his name now. The guy who was in the 90s who took advantage of the time travel technology.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Futures.
Ed Begley Jr.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, I could see it, and he's got some good points. Like, it's pretty convenient that if they have time travel and they only show up right before the bad thing's about to happen, they probably could pick a better time to prevent these sorts of things. But I mean, like you, Philip, I'm not a fantastic fan of that whole thing being a central part of the show. But if you're going to have it, this is just the kind of conversations that you're going to have.
Yeah, I guess. What about you, Darren? Where do you come on the light versus gray?
I mean,
I'm told one side has cookies.
We still want to know like what the Red Angel is, and as we saw, we got a really good view of it in this episode from when it came down to help Saru.
Darren, you and I, let's have just a conversation among ourselves. Is this like when Kosh revealed himself and everyone saw something different?
It could be.
What did you see?
I saw nothing. Don't even know. Don't talk to me about angels and demons. But yeah, I mean, we've all kind of shared that we would not be surprised if it was Michael, because she's apparently what the show's all about, and that would not be a surprise that she ends up being the Red Angel. I don't know if it needs to be that. It could be that, or it could be something else. Hopefully we'll find out in episode 10 called The Red Angel. But
you're really looking forward to that one.
It's just, I don't want it to be the red herring, that's for sure. But...
No, that's Spock. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, geez, yes. But no, I mean, with Section 31, like I said before in previous episodes, I like Section 31 a little more in this iteration, and I understand it a little more. But yeah, it's kind of like, okay, make the show about Section 31, or let's just not talk about it. Like, having it as this kind of little corner of this season is it's like it's a lot for a backdoor pilot, but I guess that's what they're doing.
And I don't mean this. Well, I mean it in a negative way, but I don't mean this in a negative way. It's sort of a crutch for the episodes. Like, oh, Section 31's here. I'm like, yeah, but you don't need it to tell the story.
Like, I almost expected Tyler to call for help again, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, boop, boop, oh, hey, we got the obelisk fleet coming at us, which was an awesome sequence. I mean, they were big and scary, and they obviously had three-dimensional thinking. They were bristled with
I thought it was gonna go Tholian for a second. You know, the way they were.
Oh yeah.
That reminds me, we do learn in this episode that the Enterprise has Winamp, because when they speak to them over the loudspeaker, we actually get the waveforms and everything. It's pretty cool. So,
Oh, Discovery.
You mean the
Or,
Discovery?
sorry, Discovery. Oh my
Yes.
God, sorry, forgive me.
It's okay. You've only been doing a Star Trek podcast for the last 4 or 5 years.
So the Discovery is the one where the thing spins. We'll talk about it later, Daniel. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, that reminds me real quick too. Since you brought it up, Philip, because it appears that the Discovery writers have an obsession with things spinning, and my problem is when the giant 50-kilometer radius spaceship city comes out from the water, it's also spinning concentrically. And if it was spinning that quickly, all those people would be dead, pasted against the wall of that giant city because of how fast that thing is spinning. It doesn't make any sense, but I just wanted to know.
What I was surprised by was okay, so the thing comes out of the water. Check, good. Where's Saru's village?
Oh, right there.
It's
Awfully
right
close.
there on the beach of said
Look,
lake.
Darren, they haven't invented swimming yet.
No. So I'm more worried
sure.
about the tidal wave that's heading towards Saru's village because a giant city just rose up
Tsunami.
out of
Yeah.
I was kind of really surprised that his village wasn't completely wiped out by that city rising up.
I was interested to see they still had Ant-Man in the jail cell there.
Oh gosh, it's
Oh,
not the
nice.
raft.
That's a Marvel
raft.
reference. Good
Ooh,
job, Philip.
pretty
You did nice.
And on the bridge just says there's something coming out of the lake.
The lake.
The lake. They're in orbit of a planet, and there's something coming out of the lake.
Yeah. Well, I
So
mean,
frustrating.
obviously, we assume it's the lake near Saru's village
Because
that's
we would
Obviously.
obviously assume that, because why not?
yeah. But
great lake.
that is a good point, though. It's like oh look, there's something in the sky. Jay, yeah, it's giant planet, but and we can get a kind of a sense for the size of the Kelpien population, though, because we know that there's around just over 4,000 pylons. So if there's one in every village, and a village is roughly a certain number of people, then they're not a really big species.
They've culled them well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the sounds of thunder.
I
so
mean,
it's-
we all
it's
kind of
the
knew it
realm
was coming to
shelter.
this, right? Like, with the stuff that's been going on with Saru, and especially with the short trek, like, I'm like, okay, they're going back to his planet at some point to set them all free. Like, that's going to happen.
I mean,
And
they've
then,
been telling
lo and
us that
behold,
since the
it
beginning.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised it happened so early, but I don't know. Maybe
We got a Red Angel crisis to solve, Daniel. Okay, let's wrap all these things up.
this in classic Star Trek fashion. This would be a season 4 episode where we go back to the first officer's planet or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe
Oh, that was season 2, the Amok time.
I was surprised to do this so quickly. Especially after we did get the Tilly episode in between, but this was right after the whole thing with the spheres and with his ganglia falling out, which by the way is hilarious. Every time they hold a fake piece of ganglia up, I have to laugh. It's this little rubber.
I was doing the dialogue for the the people are like looking around like, what happened to my ganglia? Did that happen to you? It happened to me too. Oh, it just came out.
Look like they're holding those creepy crawlers, but it's just funny. But and one thing I wanted to say real quick in closing, or before we close. Pike is still awesome, man. Pike every week is just crushing it, and he's man, like, even with Saru being totally out there and crazy, and he's emotionally dealing with a lot of stuff,
And sitting in his chair.
yeah, and sitting in his chair. Pike is just crushing it. He's just a great captain, and
Yeah.
every time he's on screen, I'm just like, I love this dude. He's the man, and
Yeah, ultimatum he's given, like, he's got some good
like-
bridge scenes.
He is one of my people.
yeah. Oh God, that was so great. How awesome was
Yeah.
that?
Like,
Yeah.
basically, don't make us your enemies because we will fight over this. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah, Pike's the man.
Yeah. No, I if I could say anything about Discovery, it's they have some watchable, memorable captains.
So wait, so if Lorca's supposed to be the brash, Kirkish captain, and then Pike is the diplomatic but will shoot at you Picardish captain, does that
Sexy
mean
Picard.
next season we're getting the
Cisco.
Cisco captain, and he actually becomes a part of the religion of some planet that they go to? And,
I see Pike closer to Cisco than Picard.
True.
If I think about it. But
I think he.
I mean, he's his own, but yeah.
Yeah, he's his own. But if we're doing the spectrum, I feel like he's a little more, in a good way, self-righteous. Like a Picard. So.
I think it's episode to episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in New Eden, that was very Kirkian.
Mm-hmm.
But, this episode, he was more of a Picard. Maybe he strikes the balance. Maybe he's found the new balance. Or maybe some new running shoes.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe he's like one of those things with Hogwarts where he's like both houses. So he's sort of like, like a...
Oh, so he's
a Griffin Claw.
So he's a Kirkard. I don't know. So anyway, Darren, what are your final thoughts about the Sounds of Thunder, what we saw, and potentially where we're going?
Yeah, I thought it was a great episode. I think it was... had some cool twists and turns, really well done dialogue. I mean, especially on the Michael meeting Saru's sister and Pike's ultimatum. Like, those are scenes that if you don't write them well, they don't work. And they did, and they worked really well. I think, Sirana handled being on a spaceship for the first time pretty well, considering, again, I don't know, we've never really interacted much with a species that has seen advanced technology but not really used it. But I guess we'll roll with that. And
it was a little odd story wise. I mean, again, I went with it. That's my theme. But like the way they filmed it, like she's on the ship, and then she goes to beam down. She's like in the transport room going, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "How'd you get on the ship?" That's are you seeing this for the first time? I mean, did you just forget what happened 10 minutes ago when you beamed up from your planet? But anyway.
Well, she was starting to have the ethical dilemma that we all have of, is it really me when I beam down?
Right.
And the
the
first
time you're like, I'm glad.
Yeah. Then the second time you're like, wait, am I dead? Is this my clone? The Kelpiens are very deep. But no, overall, I really liked it, and I felt it summed up this thread, which we know has been coming nicely. And it also, advanced the Red Angel story. Although Red Angel's getting a little sloppy. It's like, hey guys, there's totally a thing over here. Oh, as soon as you get here, I'm gone. And now you're here with egg on your face. And now there's a diplomatic incident. So maybe, I don't know. It's
well, I think the weird
but
part.
I'm also going to
show
show back up to help you. Don't worry about it.
That's true.
So why bother calling us in the first place, man? Just fix the problem.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard in your episode, but at the end when the Red Angel was like, well, according to Ziggy, and then it just disappeared. So.
Is Archer.
Connection is obvious. He is future guy.
When Michael Burnham stepped into the quantum leap accelerator.
It's why we never heard of her. There's this sort of timey, spacey thing that wipes out her memory, but she's allowed to go on affecting changes anyway.
But it was cool. And again, I really liked the scene though with Michael and Sirana, like his two sisters. That was a really cool scene. And and also I'm glad that she stayed, because she's right. Like, they got a lot to do in rebuilding their society, or not rebuilding it, but like evolving it.
No, this is early days. This won't get invented for another 5 or 6 years in Starfleet, but where the cleanup ship would come up after the Enterprise. So I guess.
Although I did have one last thought. So they're talking about the Barul, and like their fear basically is that if you have a whole planet full of evolved Kelpiens, that they're going to basically just break the balance. And I kind of took that not just in the balance of wiping out the Baul, but also like, we don't really know a lot about evolved Kelpiens. Like, are they going to still be a kind of like fishing, kind of tranquil little village like group, or are they going to start like conquering the planet and killing
I
other
want some
Kelpiens.
Baul soup now.
Well, again, not even with the Baul, like taking them out of the equation, I almost have a fear that the Kelpiens are going to start like fighting each other.
Yeah, is
because
Saru going to
the lack
continue
of
to
the-
get more aggressive and more
Yeah.
unpredictable?
Exactly.
No, I mean they're going to go from fishermen to artists, sculptors. So you're going to see Saru doing a lot of painting, clay possibly.
is Saru's village going to be super important because it takes over the spinny city and has a tactical advantage against the others? I don't know.
It's called Spin City, and it ran for several seasons.
That's all I had to say.
So, Daniel, what are your feelings about the Circle of Life?
The Circle of Life. Wait a minute. That's I rag on Discovery's writers, and to me, they're sloppy with the big picture stuff, like this sort of the Baul versus the Kelpiens, and it's clearly not well thought out. It's just sort of what works, and we'll just throw it at the screen. But what they're really good at is the smaller character stuff, and like that's what really gets me motivated to keep watching all this stuff. We talked about the Pike stuff, and that's such an amazing scene where he's like, he is our people. And then like 2 scenes later, you have that same thing where he's like, okay, well, we're going to go to war with you if we have to. And then a scene we didn't talk about was between Saru and Culber in the beginning of the episode. Mm. And Saru walks over and he's like, dude, this could be, I know it's like scary right now, but this could be really important and this could make you a better person. And obviously that sort of storyline is going to continue on. But that scene when he like reaches over and he like puts his hand on his shoulder, that stuff is like awesome and really on point. There's really good character stuff. The world building is not the best, but I love Saru, so this episode was good for me. Not great, but good. And but it was also kind of a bit in the middle in a lot of ways. But I guess we'll see what happens when we keep moving on and where these threads go. Where does Section 31 go? And are we going to see Serana again? I hope we do, because she seems really cool. That sort of stuff. But I enjoyed it, even though there's a lot of ginormous plot holes.
That is great praise from Daniel. I'll just point out, this is the writing team. I forget the women's names, but this is the writing team for this episode. Are going to be the showrunners for Section 31. So just FYI
interesting.
on that.
Okay.
I'll do my final thoughts because you are the guest. You get to have the last word here. Like I said, the more I watched it, the more I just sort of thought like, oh, you know what, this is TOS, this kind of a story.
Yeah.
So I was giving a lot of allowances, not in a bad way, because I like TOS. And so I just sort of like, how do you deal with that sort of that stereotypical TOS land on the planet, change everything, blow up their gods, and call it a day. This was obviously a little more, detailed than that. So I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed it for the season. I'm not sort of keeping a running tally like a lot of people, but like I liked episode 1, like episode 2, skip, and I like this one. and so of course, this of course it has a great heart to it. It's a planet story. It's a cultural story. We can discuss about whether decisions were right or wrong or indifferent, but it told a good story about that thing. Of course, that's my, old school TNG episodic nature may be coming out, that but that's just me, but that's why I tend to like episodes like this. It's a little self-contained, even though it obviously tries to fit into the larger arc. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. Though it does make me wonder, is Culber now more afraid because his beard was sort of like the reversed ganglia, and then once the beard falls off, he's now afraid of everything? So, it's just a thought. So Sue, what are your final Saru thoughts about where we are and where we're going?
I think I'm kind of like a combination of you and Daniel, right? Because, yeah, there are huge holes in world building. Sometimes there are huge holes in the science. Sometimes magic mushrooms. But, like, that, to me, is not the point of Star Trek and has never been the point of Star Trek. We are here for the stories. We're here for the messages. We're here for the characters, the themes, and what they learn. And that's what I think that Discovery is doing really well. They're doing it sometimes differently than other Star Treks have. But in a lot of ways, some of the episodes, especially in season 2, do feel very TOS. and I don't know. It just it stops me and it makes me go, what are people complaining about? Right, the people who just want to rag on Discovery, and I think they're looking for things to be mad about.
I mean, we do have a few episodes you can listen to, Sue.
Yeah,
No,
I know, but like to completely dismiss something and say it's not enough this, it's too much this, and it's happening in other fandoms all the time as well. But just the point for me of any Star Trek is the stuff that you talk about 5 years on, right? The four of us might sit around 5 years from now and laugh about, the numbers on the screen in one scene, but your average fan isn't. Your average fan is going to talk about how one creature suppressed another and how they're going to work together to rebuild their world. And that's what the Star Trek message is of this episode. It's whether Culber is still really Culber now that he's been put back together from the mycelial network. It's all of these other questions, and to me, that's what they're doing that right, and that's what's important. I hope that makes sense.
No, it does.
No. And so I know you were talking about episode titles, Darren. I was been Googling. I do not have an episode title for the next one, so if you have it, please let me know.
Oh, we do.
Oh, we do.
Yes. So the next episode is called Light and Shadows.
Light and Shadows. Well, that's really clear. So Light and Shadows will be next week. We are teased with Daniel. I don't know how to break this to you. Spock might be in an episode. Might be in an episode.
They've said it before. They've showed shots before. We've yet to see Spock. I don't know.
We're moving beyond Shuttle. Shuttle's like first base. So we're going to go to the second base.
So now we get
searching.
mumbly Spock, who doesn't have any lines, but he mumbles.
Look,
And
Spock's going through his Benny phase where he's writing on the walls.
Oh, God.
Oh
boy.
But yeah, we actually got other titles as well. We got a new crop. So next we have Light and Shadows, then If Memory Serves, Project Daedalus, The Red Angel, and Perpetual Infinity. So one of those has got to be the time travel episode,
Perpetual
right?
That's, yeah, okay.
So a lot to look forward to. So Darren, if folks want to talk to you about your favorite episode title in English, where can they reach you?
Never the Latin ones. They can find me on Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram under username Dr. Sci-Fi. DRSCIS. Oh, lost it there. DRSCIFI. There we go.
Don't worry, the Red Angel will come and fix it for you.
Red Angel,
right.
You're my only hope.
So, Daniel, if folks want to take a bet into your lottery about what episode Spock will finally speak a line, where can they find you?
A real line, mind you, because he'll be mumbly next. And you could probably discern a line. They can find me on Twitter at OneUpDan. That's the number one, not the word.
And Sue, if folks want to talk to you about the science of mushrooms, where can they reach you?
You can find me personally on Twitter at SPALTOR, that's Spaltor. You can also find me co-hosting Women at Warp at womenatwarp.com.
And if folks want to talk to me about the Pike versus Lorca fanfic I've written, when I say verse, it means something else. They can find me on Twitter at NC Public Servant. Well, guys, until next week in a next episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 2, I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Sue Kissenweather.
Stranded here on City Alpha 3.